We've got a fascinating stack of sources in front of us today. We're looking at defense papers, climate reports, even mining studies, and they're all pointing to one single place on the map.
Greenland.
Exactly. But not the Greenland you might be picturing, from a nature documentary. Our mission for this deep dive is to really understand why this island, with only about 57,000 people, has suddenly become this huge geopolitical hotspot.
It really is a complete redrawing of the strategic map.
Hmm.
You used to look at Greenland and just see this remote, frozen, well, nowhere.
Right.
Now you have global powers, the US, China, the EU. They're all looking at it and seeing the absolute center of the next century's economy and security.
And we're not talking about tourism here. This isn't a fight over who gets the best view of the Northern Lights. This feels almost like a new Cold War, but with a twist. The sources all seem to converge on three things: geography, climate change, and resources.
That's it. And geography is really the foundation. If you look at a flat map, Greenland seems kind of tucked away. But if you actually spin a globe,
It changes the whole perspective.
completely. You see, it's this massive land bridge connecting North America, Europe, and the Arctic Ocean. It's the gatekeeper to the North Atlantic.
Which explains the long military history. I mean, the U.S. has been there since World War II, right? First to block the Nazis, then to keep an eye on Soviet missiles.
And today you have the Pacific Space there, say, what used to be called Thule. Our sources say it's more critical than ever. It's the eyes and ears of the North, handling missile warnings, monitoring the entire Arctic.
But the really urgent part, the thing that's accelerating all of this, isn't just where the island is, but what's happening to the ice that's on it.
Yeah, this is the climate change angle. And the data is it's stark. The Arctic is warming faster than any other place on Earth. Ice loss is, over 12% per decade?
A staggering number. And the global impact is terrifying.
It is. I mean, let's be clear, this is a planetary disaster in the making. If Greenland's entire ice sheet melts, sea levels could rise by 7 meters.
7 meters. That would drown coastal cities from Mumbai to Miami, not to mention what it could do to the Gulf Stream.
Exactly. But here's the cynical twist that all the articles point to. The very same disaster that's melting the ice is also unlocking what's underneath it.
The double-edged sword. A frozen barrier is becoming an open door.
An open door for shipping, for one. The Northern Sea Route. It's a complete game changer. You're talking about cutting the transit time between Asia and Europe by 10 to 15 days.
Compared to the Suez Canal, that's a huge deal. That must cut shipping costs by, 50%?
Almost, yeah. Billions in savings. But it's not just about what ships can sail around Greenland. It's about what they can dig out of it. The mining reports in our stack are mind-blowing.
This is where the green energy transition gets really complicated, geopolitically speaking.
Right, because Greenland is sitting on an estimated 1.5 million metric tons of rare earth elements.
And just to be clear for everyone, these are the ingredients for EV batteries, for wind turbines, for defense tech, basically the entire modern economy.
Yes, and here's the real kicker. Right now, China has a near monopoly on processing these minerals. So the West is, frankly, terrified of that chokehold. They see Greenland as their supply chain insurance policy.
One source said 25 of the EU's 34 critical raw materials are just sitting there in the rock. But, and this is a big but, the US and China can't just show up with shovels.
No, they have to deal with the people who actually live there. And the political situation is very complex.
Right, so Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, but it also has home rule and, since 2009, self-government.
Which means they manage their own domestic affairs, including, crucially, their natural resources. Denmark still handles defense and foreign policy and provides a huge block grant. I think it's about 20% of Greenland's GDP.
There's this incredible tension.
A huge tension. Many Greenlanders want full independence from Denmark. But to do that, they need to replace that Danish money. And the only way to get that kind of cash is
the massive mining project.
Exactly. So to get their political freedom, they might have to risk the very environment that defines their culture. It's an incredibly difficult choice.
It really reframes this whole story. Greenland isn't just some passive frozen prize to be won. They're an active player trying to leverage this moment for their own future.
That's the perfect synthesis. You have this convergence of economic opportunity, great power rivalry, and environmental fragility, all happening on one island.
Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As the ice melts and the world rushes in, can Greenland manage to leverage its newfound power without losing its identity or its ecosystem in the process?
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.